more people, certain types of people constantly want to be in my space or want to be around me, which I have to be careful about, because that in itself is also a clue and a trigger for you, because people see you as a light. You know, when you watch those shows and they and you see a nice little light, you're like, ooh, what is that? You know, and you want to come and play with it, but you are not bringing an energy to add value to me. You are attracted to that light to drain me because you want that.
Yeah.
So we have to be very careful, even though when we start to work on ourselves, there are people who haven't done the work. And so they want that. They want that. So there's a kind of plus minus balancing act you have to work on, and you have to be aware, so aware of yourself, that in that journey of the self-care and the boundaries and the healing and from trauma and all of that, you have to know that you're going to become something that people are attracted to, and those people are still toxic, and they want to be a part of that space. They want to be aligned with that.
Hello and welcome to the Feel Podcast. I am here today with my new friend Corine Lafont, and Corine is going to make you feel alive today. She has a contagious energy about her that is palpable through the screen, through if you're listening on Spotify. It's just, she's just one of those people that has that aura about her. And so I'm excited to share her today. If you pay attention to our panels at all, you've met Corine on panels this year in 2025. And now you're going to get to hear from her as we go through the talking points today on our podcast. So she reached out to me a few months back, and I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful to have connected with her. She describes herself as young, cute, and sexy. Corine Lafont, welcome to the Feel Podcast.
Thank you so much, Melissa. That's what we're doing today, young, cute, and sexy. So if you don't think of yourself like that, sorry, this is not the podcast. Oh yeah.
But it's time to get on board with that. If you don't think of yourself that way, join us. It's a fun way to go. It's a great way to live. You're going to feel alive.
That's right. Sure. That's right.
All right, my friend. Talk to me to start out with how you prioritize self-care in your life and what that journey has looked like for you, because it's been a journey.
It has, and it continues to be a wonderful journey. And I'm so glad that you asked that question, because the timing is perfect. When I think that I have prioritized self-care, I'm actually getting more aggressive about it. You know, as time progresses, it's like, no, I need to do more of this. You know, I am setting boundaries. Self-care is not just about, you know, putting on essential oils and doing your hair or makeup or going to the spa. It's more to me about deciding what you're allowing in your space, what you're giving permission to, you know, because that brings more peace than anything else. You could easily go to a spa, make an appointment and just walk in and do what you got to do. But if you come back out, nicely made up, hair done, nails done, toes done, body rub done, and you're still walking into that environment that's toxic for you, all of that doesn't matter. All of that doesn't matter. So the self-care has to be from the inside out. Once you work on the inside, and the inside is saying, I don't like talking to you. I don't want to be in that space. I don't like working here. I don't feel good having to get up on Mondays. I don't like Mondays. I mean, generally, nobody likes Mondays. But, you know, I don't want but I don't want to do this job. I don't like the people I work with. I don't like people. I want to work remote. I'm at a different phase in my life. So for me, as I'm going in that direction, I mean, I'm 25. Just to let you know, I'm 25. Don't worry about the platinum here and all of that. But let's just assume, okay? Just assume that I was 55. Let's just assume that number. But, okay? So assume that I'm 55. And, you know, you're at that phase. And women should understand, and some men who are very aware would understand. you're in perimenopause. Your body is going through a lot of stuff that you're trying to figure out yourself because this is your first time. It's not to say you've been around this area before. So it's new to you. And so you're discovering a whole new you. You're getting upset. You don't like people. People are stupid. They're talking nonsense. It's a whole lot of things. You don't want to bathe. And if you bathe, you bathe once, and you don't feel to brush your teeth. It's a whole lot of things. And so, and you don't want to wake up this time and have to travel and deal with the traffic and the people. So there's a lot of things, right? And so you decide for yourself, I really need to change the way I work. When I was in my 20s, teenage, depending on the time you start working, you could have tolerated and accommodated hustling, and dealing with all those crazy crap. But when you hit your 40s, 50s, and your body start to change and you start to feel differently, especially if you recognize it, you have to recalibrate, like a GPS, and say, come back to center, come back to core, what I'm meant to be, where I'm meant to go. And so for me, remote works for me. It has always been my personality. It has always been the preferred way. And I'm not fighting it. And I think where the issue comes in terms of self-care, we want to have our foot, our body in the materialistic and what the world wants and what we want. And you can't, that will drive you crazy. You have to decide, it's either me or them, like Sundown in those kind of Western movies where you show up high noon, it's either me or them, but you can't be in the middle or else you get shot. You know what happens? Everybody shows up in the middle. So you have to decide. So you have to choose you, or you should be choosing you and saying, look, I'm at a place in my life now. And whoever's listening to this, I don't know what place you are in or space you are in mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, but accept that. Talk to yourself, recognize that space, don't fight it. Okay, ask it questions, try to discover more about why you're feeling that way, where is it really coming from, and go with it, and you will know. Melissa, you will know as you decide to discover, you will feel a peace. You will feel a peace overcome you. You just feel like, yeah, this feels good. Not brushing my teeth feels good. Not bathing how much times for the day feels good. Sleeping, staying in my pajamas all day feels wonderful. I want to do more of this.
Yeah.
I want to do more of it. And so you decide how you want to work, where you want to work, who you want to associate with, the parties or the people you used to hang with. You don't want to be doing that because you realize, I never really liked doing it. Why was I doing it? That particular job I was doing, I never really liked it. I just took it because of the money. My children are now grown. I don't have to be obligated. I could sell tomatoes on the side of the road if I want to, just to have peace, or work in a bakery and smile and talk to people, or do some sort of, I don't know, work in a pub or something where you feel alive, alert. Take up dancing like what I did. I go dancing, even though I damaged my foot the other day and I'm tending to it. No, but hey, what the hell?
But you've just described what it's like to live, and live authentic to yourself. And you mentioned boundaries where you're very specific about where and who you give your time to.
Exactly.
This is not a conversation that we learned as young girls growing up. It's a thing that we had to learn sometimes the hard way as we went along. When was the first time you realized, oh, these healthy boundaries thing, that's something I might need to implement in my life?
Girl, I really don't know exactly when it happened. I'm just glad it happened. I went through... Yeah, let's focus on the solution as opposed to the problem.
Yeah.
I'm really not going to say, when did this happen? No, it happened and I'm happy it happened.
Yeah. And you responded to it. I think that's the key.
Exactly.
You realize it and you responded to it because that is something so important to acknowledge, that it's one thing to realize that it's our responsibility to take action and implement.
Yeah. And the taking action and following through and consistently staying with it is important, because we could start something and then we fall back into default, what the world expects of us, or what our friends in quote expects of us, because you really will see too, when you decide to move authentically, like you say, what really resonates with your spirit, you will start to see things falling off. You don't even have to do anything, Melissa. You don't have to do, you will realize, wait a minute, I haven't heard from Melissa in a while. You know, it might just dawn on you. You're like, wait, it's been months. Because you're not supposed to do anything, it automatically, but here's where we go wrong. We pick up the phone and call Melissa.
Yeah.
So we bring Melissa back. Bring Melissa back when the universe has already decided, hey, you know, let Melissa go. You know, some new people have probably come into your life, or probably you have spent so much time and have grown. So you have outgrown Melissa. Melissa, not even probably thinking about you. Everybody's just doing their thing. But here you go. Pick up the phone and call back Melissa into your life. Then you're wondering, why is all this drama taking place? Why? You bring it back.
That is so true. That is such a good example. Thank you so much for that. Boy, think about that, listeners. Think about that, and how your world and the universe and the choices you make are informing and impacting those things. And when it's okay to release those things and relationships that are no longer serving you, that season has passed, and it's time to move forward into a new season and meet up with those places and people that can meet you where you are and serve you in a healthy way. Absolutely. And you're able to do the same thing. Yeah.
You don't have to do a thing. You see, that is where the problem is. You feel, I have to control this, or I have to manipulate that, or I have to get involved, or have a say. No, you don't have to. Your only responsibility is to focus on you. That's why it's called self. It's not our care. It's not we care. It's not them care. It's self. You know, self means one. Me, I.
And that's who you're responsible for, period.
That's it. But you see, you mentioned something earlier about we were not trained. And you're absolutely right. We were trained to be people pleasers. We were trained to tend to the needs of everybody else, because if you ever thought about even putting a bit, an ounce of care into yourself, you're selfish. How could you, Corine? How could you, Melissa? How could you? You're supposed to, and you're being shamed and guilted for it. You're supposed to know better. So when you hear that like one too many times, of course it is programmed into your muscle memory, mental archives, that anytime you think about doing anything for yourself, you're like, nope, I can't do that. I feel guilty. I'll tell you, I used to buy cake, you know, like red velvet cake, carry home. I couldn't eat it myself. Can you imagine? You're out, you're buying a red velvet cake, when you should sit your butt right there and eat the damn thing and enjoy the ambience. You're traveling on the way home with it to share.
I know. I love that so much. It's such a great example of that taking time and not feeling guilty about caring for ourselves and enjoying things and feeling good and tapping into the things that bring us pleasure. You know, I think such an important piece of this, and so good to have those mindful, you know, understanding and not pushing that aside and not believing the lie and the narrative that it's selfish. Absolutely.
I carry that cake, Melissa. I carry that cake, travel it home, you know, travel with it. Make sure I held it properly so that the cake is intact. That's to tell it the kind of care. And then when I get home now, the kids are there. And I'm feeding them, and I could hardly get any of the cake. Sometimes I get none.
Yeah.
because it's all about giving to them. But here, what happened? It took me some years. It took me some
Mhm.
years. It doesn't matter how long. And honey, I think 2 nights ago, I ordered a red velvet. And I sat there. And you
I
know
love it.
how red velvet is packed. Layer.
Yes. Yep.
Honey, I sat there with my fork and I took my time and layered into that cake.
Oh my gosh. And enjoyed every single bite of it.
No guilt, no shame. That is how I could promote it now. Right? That is how I could promote it. You dig into that. You feel, and if guilt ever rises up, ever decide to raise up in you, you say, you get thee behind me, Satan. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. Yeah?
Yes. I will
Yeah.
not allow this moment to be stolen from me.
This is my moment. Red velvet and me. You stay the hell away from me, Satan.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. And that goes nicely into, I want to talk about the connection between our emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, sexual health, all these pieces and parts of us that are connected, that we aren't taught to tend to all of them or even see the connection between all of them. When did you realize there was a real true connection between all those parts of your health?
When I left my toxic 27-year relationship, I've been back home in Trinidad 2017. And just like with perimenopause and leading to menopause, it's a whole discovery. I started to discover me. I'm telling you, I'm looking cute, young, cute, and sexy right now compared to before. You could look back, and I'm telling you, if you take pictures of yourself, I'm not a picture person, but I'm sure during our lifetime we would have taken pictures.
Sure.
If you look at the you back then and the you after deciding to really care for yourself and come and set boundaries and be away from all this toxic things, you're going to start to see a physical, because you see, it works from the inside out. You're going to start to see a change in your skin. In the youthfulness is actually bursting at the pores. It's coming out of you. People are just like how you introduced me. You know, you talk about how exuberant and exciting and the type of person I am. Not that I wasn't that way before, you know, because I've always been high energy, but it's exuding more now. More people, certain types of people constantly want to be in my space or want to be around me, which I have to be careful about, because that in itself is also a clue and a trigger for you, because people see you as a light. You know, when you watch those shows and they and you see a nice little light, you're like, ooh, what is that? You know, and you want to come and play with it, but you are not bringing an energy to add value to me. You are attracted to that light to drain me because you want that. Yeah. So we have to be very careful. Even though when we start to work on ourselves, there are people who haven't done the work. And so they want that. They want that. So there's a kind of plus minus balancing act you have to work on, and you have to be aware, so aware of yourself, that in that journey of the self-care and the boundaries and the healing and from trauma and all of that, you have to know that you're going to become something that people are attracted to. And those people are still toxic and they want to be a part of that space. They want to be aligned with that, you know, but they have to do the work themselves. They have to do the work themselves, or else they drain you and they take you right back where you were. Yeah. Right? So you have to align yourself. So it requires a solitude, which most people don't want to do. People are incapable, unable, unwilling to be by themselves, to close off everything. I don't have a TV. I don't have a radio. I'm in communications, and people are like, what? How is that possible? But let me tell you, it gives me such clarity, because I am not, as they say, I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. I'm not influenced by what I hear and see. When you're in communications, most of the people who I know in communications, they have to be on everything, news, this, that. So you're bombarded. There's no clarity. And if you're making a decision, that decision is based on what this one said, who's saying that, also as opposed to stepping back and making a very clear, crisp decision based on facts, information, based on what is, and considering all the other people, but not being influenced by what is being said out there. So you remove yourself from that by taking the time to be away from everything. And I'm not saying to lock yourself in like in a prison,
Sure.
but you're very careful, as I said, where you go, who you go, the time you go, if you have to go, anywhere, because you could do all of that within your own space. I have a nice little humidifier, what you call it thing, really cute. I just put it away a while ago, and it's I put my tea tree oil. Yes, so I have my own little spa thing going on in here, and I put my tea tree oil in there, and it lets out a little misty thing. And it turns different colors, the red and the blue and the green and the hues. And I'm like, ooh, I take off all the lights and stuff. And if I want, I could light some candles and then mix my extra virgin coconut oil with tea tree oil and peppermint and rub my skin, my lovely black skin, and massage. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Oh, so good. I love that so much. I love how you talk about creating space for clarity, creating space for quiet, learning how to be alone with ourselves, and being able to take that noise and heal it and allow it to process, allow it to be felt and acknowledged, so that you can clear that space and be open and receptive, but also aware, so that you're not allowing those old forces in to steal your energy. You're mindful of who you surround yourself. And this is what really has allowed you to show up unapologetically as yourself. And now it is because of that, you're also able to share that in a way that really inspires other women to do that as well. Just in the conversations you have, the show you have, you're not only become a resource for you, you've become a resource and encourager for other women. Talk to me about the evolution of that.
Oh, well, I guess I'm making reference to my podcast. And I have been doing some rebranding, so it's still a work in progress, tweaking and making it that ecosystem, because that's what I'm building, an ecosystem to help not only women, just people, women and men, teenagers, wherever you are, because everybody needs it. And just as how we were trained in our time to be people pleasers, I want my podcast to be able to train people to recognize the signs of that and not spend so much time. So it's like shorten the learning curve for the younger folks, so that they don't spend so much time and have to wait till they get to 40, 50 to realize this. But nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. If that's the time it takes you to learn the lesson, that's the time. Because there isn't a specific timeline to do anything. There isn't a wrong or a right. So if it takes you 40, 50 years, be thankful. If it takes you 5, be thankful. Because when I tell people about my relationship, they're like, girl, I was out of there in 2 months. Only time I saw those signs, I was out of there. But it took me 27 years. Okay? And it doesn't make me stupid and then more intelligent. It's just I had to go through that journey at that time. So you have to give yourself grace, and you shouldn't be comparing yourself with anybody. So my podcast is an ecosystem that allows persons to listen, to engage, because I will have guest episodes like how we're doing here. And I have been adding, or I will be adding, solo episodes. So you will hear me alone talking and having a dialogue that supports the guest episode, the person that I would have had on my podcast. In addition to that, what's being added to is resources. I have additional resources and reflections to help you to really sit, right? To really sit with what you have heard, what you have listened to. And my podcast is 15 minutes. It used to be 30 minutes. I've reduced it to 15. So it's not a lot of time, but it gives you the time to really soak in. So it's like a self-care. It's like your own spa moment. Take half an hour. I mean, oh gosh, you deserve an hour for yourself every day. right?
Yeah.
Just carve out an
Yeah.
hour and say, I'm going to listen to Corine's podcast Between the Lines. And you listen to it, you hear the solo episode, you go into the reflection, and there's an additional step if you want, where there's a deep dive into that particular issue that you can do some study, you can do even more reflection and look, because what it does, it allows you, that deeper dive I go into allows you to take it into your life, into your personal and professional relationships. So you could actually, you're walking in now more empowered, more discerning. So that conversation that you might have had yesterday or last week or last year, you're going to be looking at it differently now, which is exactly where change happens. Because the me that you see today is not the me from before. Not that something was wrong with the me before. It's just I didn't know what I know now. I worked with what I had then. So you're working with what you have now. And what the podcast Between the Lines that I host does is help you to move from you before to the you that you should become now and go into the future with. So if that, helps to encourage someone, I look forward to having you as a fan, a follower, a friend, a guest someday,
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. So good. And this really, your why and your values now are so aligned with how you show up in the world. Talk to me about where coming out of, when you made that pivotal decision in 2017 to move forward for yourself, for your health and well-being. And we're able to finally identify your why, your values, not someone else's that they had imposed upon you. Talk to me about the evolution and the freedom that brings.
I told you 2 nights ago I had my red velvet cake. That is freedom. I didn't have to share it with you, Melissa.
Yes.
Right. So right. And when I ordered it, it was from Pizza Hut. That is one of the places we have here where we order. So I ordered pizza and the red velvet cake. And I told the delivery guy, I said, I'm not hungry, He's like, you're not hungry and you order pizza? I'm like, no. I fell for it. I want the pizza, so I'm going to buy it. I work hard and I deserve to get the pizza, the red velvet cake. So that kind of freedom. But the evolution, I'm glad you said that, because evolution never stops.
Yeah.
Evolution constantly goes. And the discovery is hard to say when that discovery took place, because, like I said, I don't focus on the timeline. My focus is on, I'm glad it happened and I could do something about it now. And so the evolution is really continuous growth, continuous development in yourself. I want you to repeat that question for me, because I want to make sure I'm targeted.
Yeah. Talk to me. What have you learned? What is your why and your values? Yeah, that you've learned for yourself, not what other people told you, but what you have
exactly.
Learned.
That's my point.
For you.
Yeah, that's my point I wanted to make. I like how you said that. The why and the distinguishing between my values and not what somebody else says. And that is something that we have to do deep work on. And when I say deep, I'm not saying sit down in a psychologist chair or anything, but the conversations with yourself, because a lot of the things that we do, a lot of the decisions and choices we make, most of the time, if you sit, it is not of you. You will be hearing the voice. It's coming through you, so you will hear your voice.
Sure.
But it will sound like you, but it is not you. Those voices and the decisions is actually coming from your parents, the church, society, media, school, some sort of person who was put forward as an influencer in your life growing up. Because remember, we are born into this world and we know nothing, as far as I know. And we are dependent on everybody else to tell us how to go, what to. So the voices and the stuff is not really of you. What we have to do is discern those voices. Is this really what I want? Who am I? Who am I? What do I really want? Do I feel good doing this? Some people, Melissa, end up in a spiral. They end up having multiple partners. They end up going into drugs. They end up, and they don't know why.
Yeah.
They don't know why. And it is too, it's like they're attacking their own selves, like a sort of cancer. They're doing things that they know intelligently it's wrong. People coming up to them, their friends, whoever saying it's wrong. They know they're not dumb, but they can't figure out why they're doing it.
Yeah.
They can't. And until you figure out why I keep having multiple partners, why am I doing drugs? Why am I staying out late? Why am I drinking myself and I'm sick every day? Why am I hurting myself? It's because of something from your past that you're trying not to deal with. And when we talk about the voices is also what comes at you in your alone time. So when I encourage solitude, believe it or not, those demons are going to be coming at you, baby. They're going to be coming at you.
Yeah.
And what do some people do? Turn on the TV, Netflix it all day, drink.
Because they try to numb and
you're trying to silence it, but that's the wrong thing. You're supposed to stand up to it because it's actually a voice trying to tell you something that you need to face. And you realize that demon it ain't that big and bad. It's actually a small thing trying to make you feel is all that. It isn't. So my why is actually, and my values is actually around that. It's about recognizing who I am as I go along, as I evolve in this journey, to be able to discern, is that really from Corine? Who is Corine? As opposed to, is it from Melissa when she told me that 30 how much years ago? Or is it from, we have to know. And that's where the authenticity, that term that we keep using nowadays, to find out who really am I? What really brings me joy and bliss? What really do I want? We tend to focus on what we don't want, but you see, the universe doesn't know the difference between what you want and what you don't want. If I say, I don't want, that is exactly what you're going to get. because you're spending so much time saying, I don't want that and I don't want that. That is where you're putting your energy. What did they say? Where energy goes, where focus goes, energy flows. Yeah. So instead of spending time talking about what you don't want, spend the time talking about what you do want and feel how that feels to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel
that's so good.
Feels to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that allows you, what this next talking point is, this allows you to live out of your own expectations versus others. This allows, it opens the door for this to happen. But these other things, you got to put them into play to open the door for that opportunity.
That's right. Yeah.
And you will see a shift as you start communicating these new expectations and living out of these new expectations. You mentioned earlier, you will see changes in your life in terms of relationships and how you're showing up in the world. And you have embraced that. You have not fought it. You have embraced that. I love that so much. Talk to me about the embracing of being able to live out of your own expectations with the joy and jubilance that you do.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, first to begin, I have no expectations. So, and I say to myself, I have no ambition. The days of ambition is so gone. I thank God that I did my degree and my master's and all those things years ago, because if I were to do it now, I clearly would not be doing well. I am actually doing a course, another certification, which I always wanted to do. And I'm going through it, but it's like a struggle, it's like a struggle. And I'm like, what the hell? If I do it, I do it. If I don't, I don't. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. What the hell?
Yeah.
It's just good to have, and because I do consultancies,
Sure.
You're still dealing in the world with people who consider these certifications as important. But I don't need to prove myself. When I get to it, I'll get to it. But it's really a lovely place to be when you can embrace who you are, when you don't have to explain yourself, you don't have to validate, you don't have to justify. A lot of people like to ask, so why are you like that? And why did you do? Like I saw somebody just earlier today before coming onto this, somebody post something on LinkedIn. And they shared a screenshot of the WhatsApp conversation. And I'm going to kind of paraphrase it, right? So the person wrote to them. It seems as if the receiver of the message is in real estate or something. So the person, I don't know how the person reached out, but they reached out through WhatsApp, and all she showed was a screenshot that she said, hey, very professional, how can I help you, kind of a thing. And the person wrote back, you're a failure. Just like that, you're a failure. So of course that take her for a spin. But where I would say she went wrong was to respond. She went in to respond to somebody she don't even know. So a total stranger texts you on your phone, on WhatsApp. Okay? And it's not even email they use. They use your personal phone, whether it's your work phone, WhatsApp, whatever. And they have the audacity to take their whole self, text you. You decide, oh, okay, hey, Melissa, how can I help you, yada, yada. And then you see the response, you're a failure. And then you decide to respond to a total stranger to explain and tell them, how could they? And that is a reflection on them and their character. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing
Not wasting my energy on that.
No. From the time you respond like that, it's an immediate block and delete.
Yeah.
That's what my energy is. It's an immediate block and delete. Because you take your whole life to decide, I am coming at Corine and Melissa today, you're a failure. You wake up with that in your mind.
Wow. And that's just not the kind of energy you need in your life.
And hear what? So she responded to tell the person, about their character and this and that and what. And not only that, she took an extra step. She put it on LinkedIn. So the person who is actually reading that or following her, because clearly the person must be following her, would see, oh, I got to her.
Mm-hmm.
So you're actually
so they're still holding the power. You're giving them power.
Why? And then hear what happens on LinkedIn. You put that post and then other people start commenting. Yeah. So you're giving the person energy on your feet. Oh my God, why? Mm-hmm. So it comes back, the embracing is to know who you are. We feel that we're obligated to give a response to everything. Why did she feel that she have to do that? Because she feels, I need to redeem myself. So to redeem myself, I'm going to tell you this and that, and it's about your character. Do you think the person who sent her that message really cares?
No. And they're in no position to receive it, because if they were, they would have never sent that message in the first place.
So you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
And energy.
Yeah.
And the person is looking at it and saying, I got her.
Yeah. And you're giving them
all the other people who are commenting.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
We need to stop feeling obligated to respond. No response is a response. Silence is a powerful approach in communication. And it doesn't mean you're weak. It just means that you're just not giving your energy to things that just makes no sense.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's such a good example. Thank you so much for that, because I think, especially as women, we are the over-explaining champions of the world.
Of the
world. And so that is such an important piece to remember. Thank you so much. That was pure gold. Thank you so much for that, really.
I tell you, it's live. It's on LinkedIn. You could check it. It's there.
Man.
Yeah. I was tempted to say to her, the person who put the post, of course, with the phone. I was going to say it. I said, and why did you respond? That was what I was going to say. But I'm like, Corine, you are going on Melissa's podcast in the next few minutes. You are not going. Yes, I tell you, I had that conversation. You are going on Melissa's podcast in the next few minutes. We are not doing this before meeting Melissa. We are not carrying this energy into Melissa's podcast. We are going to sit down in Zen mode with our minty in hand, because that's what I have here.
I know. I've got my ginger tea. We're in good company.
All right. So we are here with our minty, and all of that sort of drama, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm.
So good. Thank you so much for that. And that really goes nicely into accepting the layered aspects of ourselves. You have been able to do that. You just set a great example of how it's so important to do that, because when you're able to do that and accept all those pieces and parts of your story, and you mentioned it earlier, with empathy, with grace, with compassion, and being and understanding that life is a journey, and wherever you are on that journey is where you are, and you take those lessons and you move forward with that with love. You've been able to really embrace all those layers. So talk to me about the importance of doing that.
Oh, that's so important. I'll give you another life example. Yesterday, I read another post on LinkedIn. This is somebody, of course, I'm connected to. So she is into hiking. So she was like, she learned so much from this particular event. She has been hiking. It's a 26.2 kilometers up some mountain in Trinidad, right? It's a long distance, obviously. And she's been preparing for it. Every year she's going. And this year she trained, better for it, I guess. And, she was so looking forward to it. So she was planning to do a sub 6 hours, for that trip. She said so many things started to happen. The first thing she did wrong was take a call just before from a client. Just before, and it clearly threw off the yin yang energy off of her. When her mind, you are going to be climbing, you are hiking terrain, 26 point. Imagine Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world, or somebody climbing up Mount Everest. He said, I'm going to take a call from Corine or from Melissa just before I remember.
While I'm in the starting blocks, I'm going to take this.
Everybody just wait, I got this call.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Yeah. So boom, number one, that threw her off. Then she forgot something she called a Garmin. I don't know what that is. I guess that's Hike and Talk something that she had to put on. And she forgot to turn it on in order to track her time. She said her blood pressure before she even make a certain amount of miles was 194. She was ready to quit. All sorts of things. Yeah. And she learned. She still made it. She was able to help her teammate. But it just shows people focus. Yeah. Listen, there are a lot of things that come to distract me, Melissa. A lot of things. And you know what I say about that? Anytime you're on the right path, you know it, because distractions will come. Yeah. Distractions will come to take you off of it. Yeah. Okay? Whether it is a test of faith or whether it is the devil trying to get you off, I don't know. But whether or not, the point about it is distractions will come. And it comes very subtly, that call, that text, that will take your mind off. If you have the TV on, something show up and suddenly, or you're just doom scrolling on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and the whole point of what you're supposed to be doing, you're not focused on. Yeah. The end of the day comes, and next thing you know, you're in bed, you're sleeping, and another day comes. It happens. But what we need to do is zone in. We don't have to immediately respond to every email, every text, every knock on the door, whatever. I don't care who it is. I always say to people, I'm not 911. My number.
I love that.
I'm not 911. Okay? I don't work as a first responder. And even if I did, I'm not on shift. So I'm not. As they say, I'm not the one or the two. I'm not the one or the two. Don't call me.
Oh my goodness.
Okay? Because if you do and you're dying, well, you know what will end up happening. You'll just be dead. So that's just what it is. Yeah. You're not going to, I have to lock out. And people might say, oh, Corine, you're doing that. What if somebody did that to you? Great. I wouldn't know. I'm sitting here, and if the person don't respond, great. What could I do? I'm not going to call them up and say, Melissa, you're not answering my phone. No, I don't have the time for that energy.
Yeah, Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, so good. So talk to me. You are such a great example of living out feel, finding empowerment, embracing layers. You have done that. And what it has done is obvious for you. Like how it has impacted your relationship with yourself is obvious. How it has impacted your relationship with other people and how you see them is obvious. What is the most important thing you have learned in this process?
To stick with my boundaries. Don't compromise. I don't do the compromising crap. People say, oh, you need to compromise. That's just another way of saying allow people to manipulate you, dim your light. No. Oh, you wouldn't have friends. Okay. Yeah. I'm fine with that. Oh, nobody would want to hang around you. Okay. You see, they throw the things at you that matters to them or is in the world. But what they don't realize is that I'm just not, there's nothing you could come at me with that will motivate me to move in that direction. So if you try to make me feel I'm missing out on something, the friends, the hanging out, the people wanting to be with me, I'm sorry, I don't have a fear of missing out anything.
Yeah.
It's actually you missing out. You're missing out the peace.
Yes. And living your life authentic to you.
Exactly. I am quite okay. Why are you standing over there and having a problem with me over here? I don't understand it. Aren't you supposed to be happy with where you are? So clearly you're not happy with where you are. Why you're taking up time focusing on me? Because I am not taking up time focusing on you. So why are you making me the focus of your life? It's telling me you don't have a life. Yeah. Because if you do, you wouldn't have the time to be watching me.
Yes.
Because I'm not watching you. So I'm like, why are you making what I'm doing over here a problem? Why?
Yeah.
And trying to make me come across by you to do all the things. Misery loves company. You're unhappy over there and want me to join you? No. Yeah. It's not happening.
Yeah.
No. Or you feel you have a certain definition of happiness and peace, and you feel your definition should be the one I live by. So you define it that particular way, and that definition is hanging out with friends, drinking, doing all the stuff, taking people's calls, whatever, answering and whatever. And I should be doing that because that's what peace and happiness is. So, Corine, you need to live like that. No. I have my own definition.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, it's so hypocritical because I'm not asking them to live by my definition. I'm not asking, I'm not forcing nothing. I am quite okay over here eating my red velvet cake.
Yes, I think that's the key too. That's that key, that realization of I am totally happy for you living the way that makes you feel happy. I'm just asking you to have the same respect for me. And if you can't, and if that's not something you're able to move to, I can't help you with that. And let's just.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to help you. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying
it's not your job to. It's not your job to.
I'm not even offering. Yeah, I would just say, I wish you well.
Yeah.
If you can't respect that, then hey, it's nothing. Yeah. If that's how you want to live, girl, you go for it. You go for it, sweetie. But I'm just not there with you. Yeah. Why do you need my company? Why do you think I should live in your frame? You define it. You're unhappy in your frame and you want me to join you there. No. Yeah. And you see, that is the thing. People, like I said, they want what you have, but they're not willing to do the work. So instead, they decide, I am going to get her to be unhappy like me. So we're all in the same, the same mud together. And from the time you resist, if you resist and you're not joining them in that, you think you're all that. Yes, I don't think it. I am all that. Yes.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right.
Because
You got it right. Absolutely. I am all that.
Yeah. Oh, you think you're all that? Yes, I am all that. And a bag of chips, plus the factory that made the chips. I am all that.
Oh my gosh.
Because they're going to want to make you feel everything is to guilt and shame you for the decision and the boundaries because they cannot manipulate you. So instead, if you have a problem with me being all that, I am good being all that by myself, I am quite good being all that without you.
Yeah. Trying to take that energy. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's because
good.
it's without them. It's because it's without them, Melissa. That is the problem. You're living life without them.
Yeah. And they don't know what to do with that because they haven't done their own work.
Can't help you, don't want to help you, not offering, not making apologies. Unapologetic. Isn't that what we say?
There we go. That is unapologetic. Yes. Oh, so good. All right. Tell me 5 activities that nourish you.
Red velvet cake. Let's get our priorities right, Melissa. Okay. Latin dancing, drinking lots of water, doing my spa. I don't know. Have I reached 5? I'm just calling things. I don't know. And just living in peace, quiet moments. I love that. I love to hear the voices. Other people don't, but I love it. I welcome the voices all day, all night. I talk back, I answer back. I love it because I am good with it. I tend to have it. Well, I guess it's because I am by myself. So I guess it's my companions, I suppose. But I love to hear the voices, and it helps me to know that if you're able to have a conversation with those voices, it's telling me I'm getting better every day.
Yeah.
I'm getting closer and closer to the person I'm supposed to be. So
that's so good. I love that so much. So good. All right. And 5 words on how you want to feel in the next 6 months.
Young, cute, sexy. That's 3. Let's get our priorities right, Melissa.
That's right.
Young, cute, sexy. More sexy and more young.
I love that. That's so good. You are committed. Red velvet cake, young, cute, sexy. Let's go.
That's what we're doing, baby. That's
what we're doing. Oh my gosh. Corine, tell people where they can find you and follow you. This will also be on our website at embracinglayers.com on our resources page. Listeners, don't you worry. You're going to be able to access all of this, but share with people right now where they can find you and follow you.
Well, LinkedIn is one of the first places. Of course, you will see this cute face. You can't miss it. So you put in my name. You can see it on the screen, Corine Lafont. You can find me. So that's one. Another place you could find me is, of course, do a search on Apple Podcasts for Between the Lines. That's me. Now, don't come at me. My podcast, it's revamping. I have been doing this for 13 years, but you will see some new changes and stuff. So bear with me. We're making some changes, but the stuff there is absolutely awesome and it's going to be even more awesome. So on Apple Podcasts with Between the Lines, LinkedIn with my name. And of course on my website, which also is being built out too, it's on Beyond the Lines Learning. So you have Between the Lines, my podcast, and then you have Beyond the Lines Learning.store, STORE.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where you will get the other resources to support Between the Lines. Because when you come on Between the Lines, you're actually between the lines. You're still trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
But when you're finished with Between the Lines, or Between the Lines is finished with you, you need to go beyond the lines.
Oh, I like that. That's so good. Oh, I love that so much. Oh my gosh. Is there any last thoughts you would like to share with our listeners today before we wrap this up?
I don't believe in last thoughts. Last thoughts is always finality, so I don't use the word last. But what I will share,
I like
because
that.
I know this will never be our final conversation or final interaction. So I don't use the word last. But I would like to leave some wisdom to persons, or additional wisdom, I should say.
Yeah.
Trust yourself. Learn to trust yourself. Learn to, and when I say learn to trust yourself, it comes back to what I was saying before. In order to trust yourself, you need to discover who you are to trust. Just like how you would put your trust in a friend, or trust in whatever,
Yeah.
trust yourself. I put my trust in God, and He is my soul source, savior, everything that I go to. And I am tempted many times because it's human.
Yeah.
Oh, something happened. Let me call up Melissa. I want to share this with Melissa. I stop in my tracks immediately. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to go to God with this. So it is something I've been working on. So instead of trying to pick up the phone and call Melissa to share, which tends to sound very gossipy, I'm trying to, I'm working on that. I'm working on moving more to the source, to the person who created me, who is the person that's leading me where I need to go, into the purpose that I'm meant to, So that is where I put my trust, not in man, not in things, not in anything materialistic. So I put my trust in that because I know He's my creator. And if He's my creator, then I need to stay close to my creator to know what He created me to do. So.
Oh, so good. Thank you so much for being with me today. Oh, such a pleasure to have you. Listeners, so much gold here. Go back, take notes, tap into those resources, and know your value. Trust yourself. Take that with you today. I love that so much. Take good care of yourselves, listeners. Take good care of yourself, Corine. I'll see you again soon.
For sure.
Absolutely. And thanks so much, listeners, for joining us today. And we'll see you next time here on the Feel Podcast. Hello, and thank you so much for being with us today on this episode of the Feel Podcast. If you would like more information on how you can apply these talking points that I share with our guests in each episode to your own life, really utilize this Feel framework, go to embracinglayers.com, fill out our contact form, and let's set up a free 30-minute consultation to talk about how you can start living your most authentic, organic, healthy, feel-fueled life. Thanks again for being with us today. We'll be back to you soon with another episode here on the Feel Podcast.